Hey everyone, it's Crystal Neat, your intuitive tarot reader, and I am here with your daily reading for July 30th, 2019. This message is for every and anyone. Throughout the message, you'll hear me talk about a couple of different zodiac signs, or a few, I would say. And just keep in mind that's energy wise. It still applies to everyone, whether you're a Scorpio, Virgo, Taurus, Leo, it doesn't matter. But this is the overall energy for everyone. And the reason I do these readings is so we kind of have an overall vibe of the day so that we kind of know how we want to use it to our best advantage. With that being said, today we have the Queen of Swords upright. We have the Page of Swords in reverse and Temperance in reverse. Okay, so we definitely have an heavy energy of Sagittarius and a heavy energy of Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I would actually say this energy today is definitely very air filled. Okay, because Libra, Aquarius, Gemini rule that element of communication, intellect, dialogue, transportation, messages, all of those types of things. So with the first card being the Queen of Swords out, this is a very strong, powerful woman who is very much about diplomacy, what is balance, what is right in life, what makes sense. It's not to say that she's not sympathetic, but she rather um she's not as grounded as the earth energy. She's not as passionately driven as the fire, or emotional and intuitive as the water. She looks at logic and patterns, and based off those logic and patterns, she evaluates the situation as she see fit, as she sees fit. So it's not to say she's not overly emotional or helpful or anything. um it's not to say that at all, but it has to make sense for this woman. She's just not going to go off a emotional energy. She has to see it logically make sense for her. This is a very strong energy of communication, very, very powerful communication. So we can all capitalize off this energy by using this beautiful day to communicate, get any paperwork done. You all, the retrograde is coming to an end pretty soon. And we also have a new moon that will be taking place, actually, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, as in July 31st. So really get your thoughts in order. This energy of the Queen of Swords will help you get your thoughts in order. This is a good day to call up a good friend who is a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, who definitely has their head on straight, because they can give you some great advice. And I did hear, like, and even if you're the type of person who gives great advice, take your own advice today, okay? This is very much of a very great energy for travel and communication. Now, also with the Queen of Swords, the first thing I really heard when I pulled these cards today was, if you knew better, you do better. And my friend Dina always says that, and it always hits home because it's so true. And this energy says that if you know better, do better. Don't make any excuses. This is not the most sympathetic queen. She is going to go off what logically makes sense. If a person or a friend is constantly ignoring you or hurting you, now be logical that we're adults. We have busy lives. You know, they could be busy. Communicate. That's why this energy is here. But also, use logic to know that, hey, maybe I shouldn't keep calling my boyfriend 15 times today, because obviously if he didn't answer after the first 2, 3 emergency calls, he's not going to answer. And at this point, I'm just making myself look immature. Okay, that's just an example. The Queen of Swords also is a boss type figure. So you could notice major support from a female colleague or work partner. Now, every blue moon with some of this other energy, you have to watch it because she could be raising that sword to cut you. So you just want to watch it. You know, if you notice that the dialogue is getting a bit too heated, just take a step back. Okay, because now I'm going to get into the other energy of the day, which is not as progressive and positive, which is the Page of Swords in reverse. And this is basically saying you can't move forward if you keep going backwards. This young man is like swinging this sword every which way. He really doesn't know what he's doing when the sword is in reverse. He's still learning how to communicate, because the swords rule communication, talking, thinking. He or she is still learning this. So it can come off very immature. It's just like before we learn the power of the word hate, some of us will just throw that around. And it's only out of it's only out of ignorance, because we really don't understand how hard that word can hit. on a spiritual level. Now, the Page of Swords also deals with a sneaky person, okay? A lot of times when I see this reading, I know that somebody is up to something. Somebody's being sneaky, somebody's snooping. So, you all take the Queen of Swords advice. She's not going to be lurking through her ex's um Instagram page. You know, she's going to be minding her own business and doing what she needs to do to better herself, because she understands that snooping is not going to get her where she necessarily needs to be. This can also be somebody spying, sneaking, or stalking you. So just watch this, because the energy is high for that today, whether it's a coworker or an ex-boyfriend, because this is a very immature air sign that hasn't quite understood that your words are powerful and they pack substance. So if you are a person who is dealing with somebody who's telling you one thing and their actions show another, then today is a very clear indication of who you're actually dealing with. So yeah, and if you're the person doing that, you know, saying I love you, but then you're playing games with people, or say you say that you're loyal and you're a good friend, but you're lying to yourself because you're really not. You know, you're talking a crap about that person behind their back. The Page of Swords deals with gossip, okay? So let's just watch it. Now, the last card we have is the beautiful energy of the Temperance. But the Temperance isn't so beautiful when she's in reverse. It's like that fickle, indecisive air energy. We've all met or been friends with or have a family member that is a high anxiety ridden, like air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But the Temperance represents Sagittarius energy, and it's all about balance and harmony and looking at the bigger picture and knowing that this too shall pass. I have people in high places that always have my back. I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care who broke my heart. I don't care if I'm broke, ugly, fat, tall, skinny, whatever. I have people in high places. I have the power of God that lives within me. So I have the power to make every day a great one. Now, the Temperance, when it's in reverse, you definitely have your foot in one situation and out with something. So you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And how you're going to figure out what this energy is about is by looking at, okay, who's contributing to this? Who is making me feel like I can't be completely all in? What is it in life that gets me quick-tempered and makes me want to act out and not be able to calm myself? I wish I need to get better at quotes, but it always makes me think about that quote where it's like, if you allow the words of others to cause you to have an emotional reaction every time they're said, you give that person the power over you ultimately. So how many people have we given the power over us? How many arguments have we allowed to get extremely heated and just at places that they shouldn't have even went by allowing that person to disturb our inner peace? Great day for reading, writing. I do think communication will be well, but once again, we have the Page of Swords there that can kind of misdirect and, keep things, say one thing and do another. So let's say you're presented with a contract today. I would highly look over it. I wouldn't let anybody push me into anything. I will use the energy of the Queen of Swords by being very logical. Does it make sense? Is it too good to be true? Today it probably is, okay? I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope this helped in some way. If you ever need to get a private reading with me, you can do so by emailing me at crystalneath@gmail.com. And I'll see you all tomorrow as always.